Hello, I'm Gwen Magic again, and I've got another talk on the writing process. This is, by the way, forgive the rustling of paper, as I'm still using a script. I want to talk today about what I call the writer's box of tricks. Now, there are several devices the writer can use that will help him or her create an easy-to-read yet fast-paced novel. Let's consider language straight away, that is, in connection with the writer's style. Now, the language employed is all important. A reader will be lost if he needs to consult a dictionary at any stage to understand what the writer is trying to say. Simple, everyday language is most always the basis of the bestseller and the page-turner. As Wordsworth said, use the language of men, unquote. Now, Agatha Christie is an example of the power of simple, straightforward language. There is a school of thought that suggests that Christie used certain keywords and syntax to which lulled her readers into a mild, hypnotic trance, which kept them reading and turning the pages and then coming back for more. If only. Yet her books still sell today, many, many years after they were written, when many of her contemporary writers are now forgotten. She can still enthrall, such is her power. How can a writer today achieve such an ability? Well, good pace, maintained throughout the novel is one such device. Pace is achieved when the reading of the book is made easy for the reader. Point is, number one, simple language. Point two, paragraphing frequently. Excuse me. Now, I've spoken of paragraphing before, and I can't stress it enough. Now, the first important reader of your manuscript might be an agent or a publisher's editor. Now, these people are very busy people, and they can't afford to waste time. They've got many manuscripts on their desk awaiting their attention. And they expect that the reader knows his stuff, knows the conventions of his craft. When on opening a manuscript, an agent or editor, if they're faced with block after block of solid text, where lines of dialogue, narration, and exposition are bundled together in boring blocks of text, the agent or editor will pass and move on to the next manuscript, where the writer has taken the time to set out the manuscript properly as the presentation. Similarly, the reader will pause to see these solid blocks of text. They will not be willing to wade through it. It's too much like hard work, which the writer should have tackled. So I'm saying paragraph, paragraph, and paragraph again. Now, another powerful device is dialogue. If a new writer is asked, what is the purpose of dialogue? He might be forgiven if he replies, dialogue lets characters communicate. Well, of course, that is true. But dialogue has a much more important role to play than that. Dialogue aids pace, for one thing. As each line of dialogue is given its own paragraph, the reader's eye speeds down the page, creating pace. In other words, the structure of dialogue is enabling the plot to move forward at a good pace, gripping the reader's attention in his eagerness to find out what happens next. There is one point to make here. While each line of dialogue demands a new paragraph, this can be split in two by what theatre people call a bit of business. That is, some physical action by the character dividing the two sections of the line of dialogue. For instance, listen to this line. "I don't like it." Dave ran his finger over his top lip, feeling moisture. "Robbery is one thing, but killing..." He broke off, seeing the anger in Tony's eyes. So dialogue enables communication between characters, but it also allows communication between the writer and the reader, without the writer pushing himself forward to explain. Now, authors are very often tempted to step forward to tell the reader something he thinks they should know. Rather like in the theatre of old, when someone came on stage from the wings to hoarsely whisper an explanation to the audience behind the back of his hand. So, what I say is this: author's voice, keep out. The only voices that should be heard are those of the living characters, whose exchanges of speeches do that painlessly for the reader. Dialogue is dynamic, exposition is static. Of course, there are times between dramatic scenes when exposition is necessary, but it is best if these passages are kept brief. Chit-chat is not dialogue. Dialogue must be apt to the plot, pushing the plot forward. Dialogue also helps with the creating characterization, denoting what type of person the character is. It's useful if a character has a pet phrase which he uses from time to time, not too often, or the reader will get bored and annoyed. Another character may have a formal way of speaking, which might put him in a certain class, which the reader instantly recognises and enables the reader to give him a mental image of the character. Perhaps another character uses a lot of slang or bad language, again indicating his position in society. Is he educated or uneducated? Is he rich, poor, etc., etc.? Each character's delivery of speech will be unique to him or her. This is important because in a novel, each character must have an individual voice. Dialogue should, in a commercial novel, a page-turner, one that the writer wants to sell in many thousands, dialogue should account for a good 75% of the volume of text, if not more. The more dialogue, apt dialogue that is, the faster the pace. And the faster the pace, the more the reader will enjoy his journey through the book, leaving him hungry for more of your work. Well, folks, that is all for today, and I thank you for listening, and goodbye for now.